Fucking finally got to have my VR cherry popped. This has been a long time coming and something I've always wanted to experience because virtual reality has always just been one of those interesting things. And I don't count the Virtual Boy. I can't count the Virtual Boy. That's not virtual reality. If anything, that's Nintendo taking a rusty red and black spork and skull fucking the living shit out of you, melon balling your eyeballs right out of their sockets, and pretty much just leaving you a big heaping jelly-like mess. This, on the other hand, was pretty much the real deal. I got to try out the HTC Vive. Pretty much thanks to my friend Alex, because I don't have the fucking money to plunk down for that shit, and I've never been out somewhere where they were just like, we got Oculus Rift, we've got the PlayStation VR, we've got the HTC Vive. I've never been able to try it out, so this is my first ever time with it, and I only got to try out two things. That's it. One was a game, one was a program, but still overall gave me a good amount of time to just fuck with it and kind of figure out whether or not I want to indulge further into the whole VR experience. The first one was Tilt Brush. Now this was programmed, this shit's done by Google, and it's a very basic ass paint program, you know, if you compare it to something like Photoshop and shit, but you're inside of a 3D space being able to paint. And you got the two little controllers, which are kind of like PlayStation Move or Nintendo Wii remote controllers, except for they've got like this big hole at the top of them. I don't know. He also had a banana mod built into this for whatever reason, so with the controllers while you're holding them and you have the headset strapped to your fucking melon, yeah, it's just two big fucking bananas that are everywhere. It was kind of ridiculous, and I don't know, it was kind of fucking funny. But using this, it was kind of neat because, like, this would be like your easel, and this is a paintbrush right here. And there's two little track pads that are on it, so you're just swiping back and forth and shit, and you're picking out what kind of paintbrush you want to use, what color you want it to be, any of the tools there, like if you want to undo some changes, if you want to go and erase some shit, whatever it is that you want to go and fuck with. So I picked out this one, it was just neon, basically, and I started painting with it, and you're painting within a 3D space. So there's two sensors that you have to connect up onto the walls that will map out a certain area that you're in, and it keeps track of where the headset's at. So while you're moving like this, it's literally just a three-dimensional space, so you can walk into it, and now you've got whatever you just drew around you. And there's two little triggers on the bottom of it and shit, and I'm sitting there just fucking around with it. I look like I was on the best kind of ecstasy the entire world over and had fucking glow sticks at a rave. I'm just sitting there doing shit like this, and off on his desktop on the screen, you can see all the shit that somebody's doing. So he's sitting there just watching all the stuff from my own perspective, like what I'm seeing inside of the headset. And I thought it was kind of nice that you could see some shit like that. It was also hard as fuck not to go and bang my fucking hand off of his fan because he had a fan going. So I didn't want to go and just like punch somebody in the face while I'm just trying to go and make some happy little trees everywhere. But it was cool shit. There was like this one, it was fire. Pretty much, and you could paint it, and it looked like actual animated, real, living flames. I was just like, this is great! I got excited with that, and the one that looked like it was splattered blood. So, that should say something about me now I think about it. I'm just like, fire everywhere, splatter blood! It was pretty fucking fun, though. And I dicked around with it and just did silly shit, but the idea of what you could do with something like this, and especially if you applied this to 3D printing, where, you know, most of the time somebody will go and make some shit and it's a 2D canvas essentially, but they take that and they go and print it out and you can put it up on a wall. This, you'd be able to print it out and have it sit on a shelf somewhere. And it's a real living, breathing sculpture, whatever the fuck it was that you want to make. And I dig that concept a whole lot. And just imagine like the future of art museums, something that you're just walking through, checking everything out. And they had some shit in there, automatically it would happen. It was like some gigantic fucking dragon that wrapped around the entire thing. And it was cool as fuck, fire coming out of its mouth, you could see like all of its bones. I was like, dude, that's badass. It was like in fast forward painting it. I just like that. I thought it was neat considering how basic it was. Keep in mind, again, scratching the surface type level shit and just getting to try it, but I like that a lot. It was simple as fuck to use. The headset itself, like when I first put it on, when you look at it, it looks bulky as shit. It really does. And apparently it's only like 1 pound, so it's not heavy. The only thing that's fucking heavy is the amount of depression I'd have by having to go and drop $800. My friend Alex dropped 800 fucking bones on that shit. I was just like, God damn. Because I think about my bills every single month, the amount of shit I got paid for, like, taxes, the amount of shit I have to pay for utilities, and just all sorts of other things, and I think about that, I'm like, I wish I had the money for it. But it was cool that he bought it, because, like, I can go to his house and check this out. And he also had this one thing, I might butcher the name of it, but it's like Zortax or some kind of shit like that. It's a little shooter. Valve has this thing called the Lab, and there's different games and apps and all sorts of other shit that you can check out in it. And this was set up on something that looked like an arcade machine, so you just go over to it, and essentially you have like this little ship, and it's an actual shoot 'em up. So you only need one of the controllers for it. So while you're doing like this, that's exactly how the controller, or the ship will move around, is how you move the controller around. So all these things, they'll just like show up on the map, and they just start shooting at you. And the bullets don't go really fast, but it essentially becomes a bullet hell shooter that you are walking around inside of. And things are spawning all around you. Like, shit would spawn in the area that I'm taking up space in. So you have to look around and just duck and dodge. One of the things I know is have your arm out as far as you can so that you can see all the space around it, because if you keep it close to you, which was a bad habit that I had when I was first fucking with it, it was just like, oh shit, and I just kept getting blown up over and over again. Alex ended up making it to, like, the second boss and shit. I beat the first one. That was the only thing I was concerned with. I wanted to make it to the first boss, beat the living fuck out of it. I'm like, look, I got far in Einhander and Thunder Force 4 and shit. I can fucking do this. Like, I grew up on playing shit like Grady. It's like, fuck you, I can do this. But it was neat to see because, you know, the boss will show up and it's just like firing this big volley of bullets, and they're everywhere, and you're just kind of, like, I thought the boss fights were easy as shit. But it was kind of neat seeing the way that this would control. And it was kind of cool because later on in different levels, like, it wouldn't be just things show up and they're shooting at you. Some would lay a whole row of mines. So then you would have to be well aware of all of your surroundings because it'd be easy to dodge right into some of that shit. Other things made lasers that went across it, so you'd have to go and shoot that. They had an auto-lock system. They had homing missiles that came after you. You got some kind of power-ups that eventually, it turned into this big laser beam came out. Oh, optic blast! Well, versus Capcom, you motherfuckers gotta know this shit. But you're just owning the fuck out of everything that shows up. But it was really, really fucking neat. Like, I like this a lot. I can't say that I liked it enough to drop $800 on it, or even $600, because something like this, like, I enjoyed the experience, I just don't have the fucking cash for it, and I know a lot of other people out there just don't have the cash for it, because this is a novel, gimmicky experience. Granted, you know, seeing some of the horror games that they had within it, I've only gotten to see the footage of it, but I want to try that out, like, so fucking bad. I don't even know how I would do it in an area like this, because I know it's kind of hard to tell, but I don't have a shit ton of room in here, so I'd be walking into all sorts of things, and God forbid if I fucking swung and hit my TV, or some shit, or my desktop, or anything like that, I'd cry twin waterfalls. But this was cool as fuck for me. I never got to try out VR, like, at all. It's one of those things, I know that a lot of people jump on a bandwagon because of the Oculus Rift, though. That one I'm shying even further away from, hearing about all the DRM shit that's attached to it. I'm just like, dude, fuck that. The PlayStation VR has the lowest specs, but it's also the cheapest. But I'm like, do I still want to cough up the money for this? Because if it doesn't have longevity to it, meaning lots of support added to it continuously and constantly, then why fucking bother? I know that the indie market would be one of the most ideal candidates for some shit like this, so I'd always want to use it with PC. And when I've talked about this in the past, that's how I said that this would be ideal for the PC gaming market. You know, is it good for console gaming? Yeah, because there's so many different console games that are exclusive only to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo, all that shit. But I want to try it again, because, like, we went and hung out at my buddy's house, like, after that last night. We were throwing back a couple beers, and we were talking about some of the other games that are available for it. And even today, I was going through, there was, like, some kind of zombie game that I had seen, this other one that looked similar to, like, a Lego set and shit. And I was like, dude, I really want to try all this out. I just don't want to pay that much money. Like, I'm a cheap fuck. But Alpha, you have a lot of games. Motherfucker, this shit's been building since 97. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, but it's hard for me to justify the cost versus what I'm going to get out of it. And while it's a very entertaining experience, it's just, it's hard to fucking gauge. I don't know. But point being is that if you haven't tried this shit out, I think you should, because I had a lot of fun with it. It was hard for me to pry myself away from the Vive altogether. I mean, I was running on a really fucking tight schedule, and I only had a little bit of time there before I had to go and split and go drive. But it was one of those things, like, I want to go make time for it. I'm going to end up trying again, but I told him, it's like, dude, I need to go and make a video about this shit, because I talked about it briefly on Twitter. I'd even taken a picture, and I look like a goofy fucking asshole, just with the Vive headset on and stuff. But I did. I liked it a whole bunch. It's weird being tethered to the PC, like, with the wire and shit. It's a sturdy fucking wire, but I'm always afraid, like, I'm going to break it, or I'm gonna step on it, I'm just gonna mess some shit up. That always kind of freaked me out. I'm glad that the controllers are completely wireless. Like, those bitches charge. I'm just waiting for them to make a completely wireless headset. I don't know how fucking long that's going to take, because you have to think of battery consumption for that. You have to think of the amount of information that's being processed from the headset unit that's going to the PC and all that shit. That's a whole lot of stuff to take into account. And me and my buddies were talking about that last night, because they were like, oh, that's bullshit that it's fucking tethered to it. So we were just going back and forth, just waxing tons of different specs and hardware and shit, saying, you know, how long is it going to take before they end up having this? And that's more dependent on if the entire VR boom becomes a legitimate boom. And there's lots of people throwing their hat in on this. Microsoft still has that HoloLens coming out, which is separating itself from the tried and true virtual reality experience. So I don't know what the fuck they plan on doing with that, but I still think that one looks badass. Just based off of some of the stuff I had seen, like with the Skype chat, for example, which was like some Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope, whenever they were taking a person who was in Skype and then scaling them down and putting them on a table and shit. I was just like, what? So the shit I'm expecting is going to be really cool. Just, you know, it's cumbersome to go and wear a headset like that and to go and have all this shit, but this feels like a true follow-up to all the like stuff that people got excited about with the Nintendo Wii, and getting my hands on with it for the first time. And albeit a very brief experience and something, again, I'm just scratching the fucking surface. There's a tip of the goddamn iceberg, but it made me want to try more, and I had a good time with it. You know, there wasn't any kind of crashes with it. None of the software fucked up on me. The hardware didn't do anything. I was just like, well, this isn't fucking worth the money. Nothing like that. And there's all sorts of shit that's popping up, both free and some to be paid for. Plus, all the pre-existing games that they're trying to apply patches so that these are Vive and Oculus Rift and all the other shit compatible. But this, you know, spec-wise, the Vive is the top tier one. So if you've got the big-ass gaming rig, which I built that fucking beast over there, been building PCs since I was 16, and I fucking love that. And that's more than capable of handling. I didn't even need to do the benchmark test. I was just like, yeah, I'm fucking fine with that. And it, you know, it makes me want to try that. It's just, I want it to be cheaper. I think that I'm in the same exact boat as a lot of people out there, that I have a vested interest in it. I just don't want to open up my wallet and empty it out that much. At half the price, yeah, but it's still just, it's so much fucking money, man. It is. You know, the more that shit's out there, the cheaper that becomes for them to manufacture these in bulk and put them out onto store shelves. I think it'll be easier for, like, the mass populace to go and pick this shit up and to really think about it. The downside is most of them aren't going to be aware that you need to have a big, beefy gaming rig to go and even fucking think about this shit. So, either way, I had a good fucking time. I just want to try it out more and see what else is out there. So, yeah, Alex, if you're watching this, I'm obviously going to be coming back over. We'll be throwing back a couple more fucking Pilsners and then trying this shit out, which will be amusing. I should fucking record that experience. We'll see what the fuck happens. Either way, just want to go and get shit off my chest. I know this isn't exactly the most, like, visual experience for it, because there's nothing to see, but I didn't fucking think to record it. Fuck off. I at least want to go and talk about it. It's basically a vlog channel. What the fuck can I say? Anyway, this is AlphaOmegaSin. As always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers came the fuck on.